I do get worked up about this stuff because it is something we should be very, very vigilant about. Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. We're headed to the cabin, and let me tell you, it's a little bit of a mixed emotions for me today, but for the most part, I am super excited about reselling in general right now. The specific time of the year, of course, Q4, but in general, in a bigger picture, I'm more excited about reselling. But there is one thing, one message I got that I still haven't talked about yet that I think is a concern for the future of reselling. I want to talk about that. I even have to defend myself a little bit today, and we've got some great sales. This is our 4th day of filming in a row because the sales have been really steady. I think we got 20, I don't know what we got, 24, 25 headed out of here today. Let's go take a look. But like I said, we do have a bunch of items headed out of here. I think we're just right around, oh, the dogs are here, right around the $1,000 mark today, and we shipped out yesterday as well. That doesn't mean we sold $1,000 worth in one day, however. Which gets me to, I'll tell you what, we'll hit the first, me defending myself first at the very beginning here, and then we'll get to the one topic that always concerns me a little bit, and this message I got from somebody who is in Germany. I want to talk about this because I do think as good as reselling is, and as, you know, let's face it, it's growing, it's making a lot of us money. I think it's a growing enterprise. It's not perfect by any stretch, and there's ups and downs for folks. But I do think there is a threat to it. There's one thing in particular that could derail it, and we're going to talk about that today. But let's talk about this item, and then let me defend myself. This is Conquest of Empire. These games, boy, I'll tell you what, sometimes these games will surprise you in how much they can bring. And this one, it didn't really surprise me because I've been doing this a long time, and I've never seen this game before. And when that happens, it's like, it's got to be worth something. $64.95 plus shipping. Now, in regards to defending myself, I don't feel the need to do this, but from time to time when I see this, and it's happened a lot over the last couple of weeks, different shows, different videos, different platforms even, and I feel a need to respond, not just for me, but for other folks. There's two things here. One thing that gets under my skin, the other one doesn't really, but it's a decent point, I suppose. The whole not a real reseller thing, and there's two of those qualifications that have found their way to my page via other videos, other platforms. So I wanted to address it real quick. The whole idea of anybody out there calling anybody not a real reseller because of, let me give you two examples. And I've seen both of them in the last couple of weeks. One of them is, you know, if somebody's just going out to thrift stores and they make $100 a month or something, they're not real resellers, you know. You can't learn anything, you can't do whatever. That's fine. Or they're going to garage sales and they make $250 a month. Well, let me tell you, they are real resellers, and it's ridiculous for people who should know better to make statements like that. The other part of the equation is my part of the equation. Not a real reseller if you make more on social media. That's just a stupid argument. Just a dumb argument, just as dumb as saying that some 80-year-old lady out there who's working her butt off trying to make an extra $200 a month on eBay selling jewelry isn't a real reseller. So here's my qualification, because I don't want to spend forever on it. If you buy something or don't buy something and sell it, meaning you bought it in the past and it's yours, and sell it on eBay or whatever reselling platform there is, you are a reseller. If you're a doctor or a lawyer and you make $250,000 a year and you make an extra $1,000 because your hobby is going out and finding cool stuff and selling it, you're a reseller. I don't care if you're Harry Tornado and you make a ton of money on social media and you resell on whatnot, you're still a reseller. These are just dumb arguments made by people that have a chip on their shoulder. All right, now I have a chip. Well, I don't have a chip anymore, I said it. The second part is don't follow and don't trust people who don't expose all their numbers. I was like, because I don't expose all my numbers. I talk about it often. I'll probably talk about some of it on this episode just on purpose. But I'm just going to say this for those the naysayers out there. I've had 3 stores over the years for eBay. Commonwealth Picker is the one I currently sell on. And this one I've sold on currently sell on the longest. 13,949 feedback on this store. That's not including the other 2 I've had. I've been doing this a long time. So I don't feel like I have the need. I show everything. I show everything I buy on my videos. I show everything I sell in here, with the exception of showing all the live show stuff, because you get bored to tears. I'm pretty sure I've sold 50,000 items if I've sold one. So, all right, but that's, you know what, that's all the airtime that deserves. This Cam Newton jersey went out on 30% off, $73.55 plus shipping. Now the other topic, I'll tell you what, the other topic gets me way more. Gets me on my high horse even more than that. So, and it's because I think it's a concern for everybody out there. Most people don't care about the other nonsense. So Barney comforter right here, and it's got a few issues to it, but it still is a pretty good little seller. This one sold for $31.46 plus shipping. I'm gonna grab 4 more things, and then we're gonna talk about the message that I got that prompted this, because this, to me, it always has been, if you've been watching this channel for a while, is the biggest threat to reselling. That's not hyperbole to say, hey, you know, this is something everybody's got to be scared of, but it is something we should be vigilant about, because it is affecting resellers in different places right now, and it could affect all of us. I owe a big thank you to, I pulled this drawer out earlier because I had to check, because there's 2 of these, and I had to check, make sure it was the right one. I did not list them as multi-quantity because there's a condition issue with one of these, but I have to thank a viewer. I was at a sale 1 month ago, and it's a sale that goes on once a month in a parking lot. And these were sitting there, and I think the guy wanted 20 bucks for this one and that one total, 10 bucks a piece. And so I didn't even bother looking them up. I'm like, man, that seems a little pricey for that thing. Cerro Scotty Sportsman, like, emblem, metal. And somebody said, oh, you should have picked those up. And I'm like, really? So I go back to that sale every month in a parking lot, and the same guy was there with these. And he was selling everything out at that point, because he'd already been there and tried to get top dollar for stuff and didn't get it. For some of it he did, I'm sure. And so he had dollar bins lined up on the ground, and I saw those in the dollar bin. I'm like, sweet. So I paid $1 for this. So I'm glad I didn't get it, but I'm very grateful to whoever that was out there who told me in that video, you should have picked those up, because I looked them up and he was right. $1 into $34.95 plus shipping. And I have 2 of them. So that was a great deal. Our 30% off sale for things that have been in the store for over 200 days has really been working. In this case, it's been in the store way longer than that, but it's the time of year you'd expect this thing to sell. I'm thinking this is it because it's orange. Yep, this is it. It's a Miller Lite Pumpkin. Right there, Bud Light. No, what is that, Bud Light? I don't know. At any rate, that's been in the store a long time, and we are into it basically for nothing now. It was a massive buyout, but it sold for $10.46 plus shipping. This one sold so fast it didn't even make it to the other shed. Panasonic blue lines, boy, and the market is pretty good on them right now. That's the one good thing about being a seller for a long time. You have these drop shippers. I don't even know. I shouldn't even say that before I check, but no, actually it's not. Well, yeah, it is. Look, repeat buyer. Somebody, I guarantee you this person is a drop shipper. They have 24,000 feedback. So they've been doing this a long time, but they have saved my store because they know I test my stuff, and when they drop ship it, it's gonna work. And they pay up $84.95 plus shipping. I guess I should have checked my list. This little creamer sold right here as well. And this little guy didn't sell for too much, but $12.95. It is kind of cool. Check this out though. I just want it, I'll tell you what, we're gonna get to that topic, but I gotta give a thank you first for all the people who have bought this without Reagan here. Check that glow out, isn't that cool? And a big thanks, of course, Tim over the years, and Dusty Box Treasures for the idea and the help with it. So thank you. And here we go. We bought 2 giant bags of them, and that's what we're down to. So we've sold, I don't know, 70-ish. About 30 left. And we're selling them on Digit.com and on CommonwealthPicker.com. And I'll say this, I say it often, but I want to make sure people know. So Reagan gets the money for this that we make. We're not making a ton on them. We're only selling for $4.99. And then the excess money goes to one of their charities. So I pay her for all her labor. She took the time to take these stickers off and put these on and help me with the ordering and all that. So you guys are awesome. I just want to say thank you. So I've got questions about this for a while, and this is specific, but I'm going to look at it as a bigger issue, and I still have like 21 items to go or something like that. So we're going to try to make it quick, because I've done videos like this in the past. Mr. Daco, 2009 here. Oh, it's on the Commonwealth Picker channel. They left this message. Hi, I have a question. I'm a reseller in Germany, and we all have had a hard time with this new GPSR thing. If you as a reseller from America is shipping to Europe, do you need all that information put on your items as well? And then they say this is such a Europe thing, and they roll their eyes. And I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what, let's do it this way. Let's talk about what that is, GPSR, in just a second, and put it in bigger context. All right, I'm reading here from the internet, obviously here. So the General Product Safety Regulation, and first of all, if you think it's just a Europe thing, I've got news for you here. It is in one way, but this idea is not, and it does affect sellers from all over the place. So the General Product Safety Regulation is a European Union rule that requires online sellers to meet certain requirements to ensure that products sold in the EU are safe. eBay sellers must comply with the GPSR when listing items for sale in the EU and in Northern Ireland. Some of the requirements include, and I'm going to get into those here in just a second. I'll pull 2 quick Vera Bradley bags, and then we'll get to it and finish it up before we pick the rest super quick. All right, I had to dig this one out. It's been in there a while, and it sold on 30% off. And I believe this one went to a viewer. This one just got in here. And so, look at that. Still got the tags on it. I wanted $50 for that thing. And that one sold just probably a day after it was listed. And look what I found, y'all. Look what fell out of one of these purses while I was doing that. I guess I should go find where I bought it and give them the dime back. That's a sarcastic quip from the last video. The red one sold for $18.95 plus shipping, and then the other one sold on discount, 30% off, $13.29 plus shipping for this one. And that one, somebody left me a message, so I'm going to say, Leah, thank you very, very much. There's no message on here. You left it in the regular messaging system, but I appreciate it very much either way. Look at this dog right here. Do you want to talk about GSPR? Huh? GPSR, sorry. All right, here's what you got to do here. And my assumption is, I think I know this, maybe I should have done a little bit more research, is for our products to sell to those countries, those things need to be included as well. eBay has, you're going to see these things and think about the ramifications for this. And then think about the reasoning behind it. Why? Why all this stuff? Is it really for the safety of all these people? And are they going to even pay attention to all this stuff that I'm going to read here in a second? My guess is no. It's like these tags on these new plush are like 18 miles long to have. It's just ridiculous. But the implications, think about, I often hear from Europeans like, we don't have yard sales and whatever like you guys do. There's boot sales over in different places. And can you imagine these regulations? They should apply to everybody, right? If you're going to sell something at yard sales, no different than this. Or if you're Goodwill or whatever. Provide the product manufacturer's name and contact information, or the name and contact details of the EU-based responsible party or entity. Include all safety warnings, labels, and product manuals in local language. Provide these where applicable, such as products that could pose a choking hazard. Provide technical documentation such as hazmat and energy certificates if requested. There's all kinds of other stuff. And so I decided to go to eBay, and they have an FAQ on this, and they go through a list of things and how it affects different people. If you're a U.S. person selling domestically in the U.S., then there's no effect whatsoever. So I decided to click on one of the numerous FAQ, frequently asked questions, right? And just to see, and I just picked one, does the GPSR apply to collectibles, including antiques, works of art? The regulation excludes antiques, this is a good thing, which for the purpose of this law includes collector's items and works of art, since they cannot meet the necessary safety requirements. Specifically, antiques are defined to include items of extraordinary age, works of art created solely for artistic purpose, and collector's items of sufficient rarity and historical and scientific interest, justifying their collection or preservation. To determine if an item qualifies as an antique, please refer to Annex 9 of the VAT Directive, which the GPSR specifically says can be taken into account. For other categories, you can specify the year of manufacture, blah, blah, blah. It just goes on and on and on. It's like the definition of bureaucratic mumbo-jumbo mess. And so whenever I see this stuff makes me cringe. Can you imagine this stuff coming to the United States? And you might say, oh, well, people have to be safe and whatever. Okay, fine. Let me tell you what. and this is my opinion, so get mad at me if you want. This stuff is done to protect a certain group of people, and it's not to protect the populace from dangerous items. Of course, we all agree with that. We're not, you know, we shouldn't be selling things that are dangerous, and the government has things in place and whatever. This is not the method. Onerous acts and onerous effort and time put into this kind of stuff. And is it affecting us? Is it destroying us right now? No, it's not. But this is the stuff we should be aware of. And the VAT itself, the value-added tax and all. Have you ever tried to ship stuff? I stopped shipping a lot of stuff from CommonwealthPicker.com over there because all the stuff I had to fill out and all the nonsense. I do get worked up about this stuff because it is something we should be very, very vigilant about. And don't make any mistake that there are reasons behind this stuff that are much bigger than, you know, you get this plush and, okay, you could choke on this plush, right? I'm not belittling the fact that people should be safe. What I'm saying is that these politicians are doing things not to keep somebody from choking on that Snoopy plush over there or whatever it is. There are other reasons behind it. There are other special interests behind it that are trying to protect their markets and the control over, let's face it, the little guy and freedom. So I don't want to over-exaggerate it, but this truly is the kind of stuff we got to pay attention to because there's already enough bureaucracy and red tape. You know, I was a history teacher for a long time. This might make people mad. But no culture in the history of the world taxes itself and regulates itself into prosperity. It just doesn't happen. You know, we've talked about the Shop Safe Act, and before that, the, oh, what the heck was that thing called? Informed Consumer Act that was actually passed. And there's always these kinds of efforts to undermine our ability to do things that are clearly lawful and should be encouraged. But here's a Panasonic phone. I've pretty much stopped selling these, but if I'll find Panasonic is good. I usually don't pick up VTech or nothing, but if I see something like this and it's like $2 or something, I'll pick it up. $24.95 plus shipping. And you know, eBay's invested a lot of money into expanding into other markets, and it's helped a lot of us US sellers for sure, but these countries that you would think we'd be selling more to, we're not selling to. There's a lot of expense, cost into making it easier for us to jump through all these hoops in order to sell to different places around the country. And eBay has invested a lot. My guess is they're not making money on it. They're kind of betting on the future of this stuff. This stuff is going to be discouraging eBay and other businesses to expand into those global markets. And you see it happen. Look at the NFL, right? They're expanding their market base by going around the world. And I don't, you know, obviously they don't have to jump through these hoops, I wouldn't imagine. But imagine if some of these countries started to institute things where, hey, you bring these people, like some of these states. Like if you play a game in New York City, you got to pay a tax on this and whatever, and all this insane stuff. It makes it more difficult to do business, and this is never a good thing. In my opinion, it's not anyways. Simplified and fair, regardless of the size of a business, you know, whether it's some guy in a shed in his backyard or whether it's Walmart or Amazon or whatever. And these are the things we should really be paying attention to. They are the biggest threat. But there is some good news as well. There are more and more and more. It used to be eBay fighting these battles with a few other folks, and there are more and more of these marketplaces. And my hope is that this keeps growing, and there's more and more people on our side who are willing to fight against this stuff when it comes up. You know, I could talk about this stuff all day long. It really interests me and it concerns me from time to time, but all in all, I think it's on the upswing. I'm looking for Ford. I think it's going to be in the other. It's a lot of hats. There it is right there. And I decided to list these three together. I just didn't think, you know, putting them out there for like $8-10 a piece was going to do the trick, and they probably wouldn't sell. So I put three of them together. They're all Ford hats from different places. A rope hat right there, Marion, Virginia, and then this one uncleaned. Foam's in good shape though. And so we put them all out together for $15 plus shipping. Here's some irony for you, and I just saw this because I make far more sales to East Asia than I do to Europe. That's where these are going. A little surprising, huh? So these are going to Oregon, and if you know much about some of the Oregon sales like this with the names that you'll see on them that I can't pronounce, they end up going across the Pacific as well, and that's what's happening with these. These will probably end up in Japan, is my guess, and you know, maybe the regulations you put in place also restrict your people and your own, like these people, these poor eBay sellers that are having to deal with this. Now, I don't know. I'd love to hear from some of you sellers over there who are dealing with it. My guess is it's not the end of the world in some cases, but for certain sellers selling certain things, it probably is quite a hurdle. Sold 2 Black Rifle coffee company mugs right here. I better just do one at a time, I suppose. And these 2 were $5 a piece into them, so $10, and they sold for $41.90 plus shipping. Sold an off-brand golf range finder. Nope, shred juice. There it is right here. It's been hanging around since last year's Lost and Found golf course buyout, and it was sold for $14.95 plus shipping. Every once in a while I buy something at a sale that's not really worth it, and I do it for the people are nice, or there's a kid selling it. In this case, it was a kid trying to make a sale. And it was on my way to go see my boy play, and I just had a little soft heart. So, I don't know, I think I paid $2 for it, knowing they wouldn't be worth a whole bunch, but I bought them anyways. And they sold for $10.95 plus shipping. Their ab straps. So you put them on a bar, and then you put your elbows in them, and then you do your little sit-ups. That reminds me of my college baseball playing days. We had to do those at 5 a.m. every morning after I got done delivering my paper route. And then, of course, I made my ball players do that kind of stuff when I was a coach forever. Not at 5 a.m. though. Life Applications Study Bible in pretty darn good condition. And that sold for I bought this at that estate sale down North Carolina. $20.66 plus shipping. Anybody know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh cards? So I've sold some lots before. I believe these are first edition. I know that this case alone sells for like $40, just the case. And there are cards, I believe it says 1996. I don't know how to tell first edition and all that stuff, but there are just tons of cards. And I'm trying to figure out, I think I want to put it on auction over on Dibdit.com. I think just, you know, not like a live auction, just make a video and post it. But, I mean, there's just tons of this stuff. And there's even more over here in this. And then there's bags over here with more cards in it. And they all look early to me, as is this case. I don't want to mess anything up, but tell me, what do you think I should do? I could put it on Shop Commons as a giant lot and do it as an auction, shopcommons.net. Or I could sell it live on Shop Commons. Hey, speaking of, I think September 19th, unless I change the date, the first live wholesale lot auction. We're going to sell lots of stuff. Not one-offs, but 2 resellers sell things in bulk all at the same time on auction. Show everything that's being sold and then auction it off. I'm a little nervous, but it's been such a success over there. We want to add that element to it, and I've been working on that for a while. Thank you, by the way, to everybody who has made both of those, Dibdit.com and Shop Commons, such a success. But Shop Commons is just absolutely insane right now, so thank you. I love seeing things at yard sales that I think might be worth money and then buying them and finding out they are worth money, even though I have no idea whatsoever what they are. This thing is, what is this thing? Zareba. 3-mile range, low impedance, 6-volt electric fence controller. Paid $5 for it. Sold for $50. I'm running out of space, plus shipping. Redskins vintage sweatshirt. Paid 50 cents for this one at a sale. That was a super cheap sale. And it sold for $22.46 plus shipping. I picked a bunch of these up at a sale. It was at that parking lot sale I was talking about. $1 a piece. She had a ton of them. And I figured it really wouldn't be worth it as one-offs, but to sell in lots, because they're selling them. We've already sold a couple already. So these are 257. Let me make sure. 257 Maybelline Express Brow. And they sold for, actually, does this have 2 or 3? Oh, there's 3 in there. Sold for $18, $17.95 plus shipping. So 3 into 18, and there's multi-quantity. Figured it was a winner. Check this out. I think a viewer, Melissa, I think, because it's a purse and these right here bottom, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to say thank you to Melissa. I'm looking for 255. That's 255 right there. So these sold, again, for $18.95 plus shipping. And then this bag that just got listed as well, this fossil bag. sold, and I don't remember what that one sold for. It was $1 buy and at the 127. So $18, 3 into 18, and that one was, let's see, $24.95. So that's pretty good for $4 in, and this is a great bag, great condition. Got the little key on it as well. So I'll take that. Thank you, Melissa. I'm assuming you are a viewer. Very glad this next one sold. It was a buy in, I think I bought this in Cincinnati at the Reseller rally. That's been a year. And it's been taking up space for a while. This was a bread and butter item for me forever. These Century, like, Taekwondo pads and stuff. I paid $5 for it. And it took forever to sell. And it got to the price of 25 bucks. And it finally sold. So somebody got a good deal, because if you got a kid doing that stuff, this stuff gets expensive. So 25 bucks. I probably wouldn't have bought it in hindsight, but I'll take the profit. Next one we've had for quite a while as well. It's a Virginia Tech jersey, and it went out on 30% off. And I believe it sold for like really close to $35, I think. Let me double check it so somebody doesn't call me a liar. $35.66 plus shipping. It's an actual jersey from the team, and we sold a ton for really, really good money. This might be a woman's, I don't remember. At any rate, I'll take that sale. It's a pretty good sweatshirt right here, a little hooded. It's like a shirt. It's pretty thin. It's a polo with vintage look to it, XL. Check that out. Got that P-Wing on there. Man, y'all, I made a lot of money on P-Wing stuff back in the day at Goodwill 20 years ago. That stuff was crazy good when you could find it. And this one sold for $29.95 plus shipping. Look, see, we're getting that stuff that should be selling this time of year is selling. Sold an Animan on auction right here, so I can't forget to thank Maria. Maria, we appreciate you very, very much. And I hope this guy gets your store moving, Maria. We appreciate you. We've added like 1,700 people in the last 30 days on the Commonwealth Flipper channel, so thank you. But in case you're new and you don't know what the heck that thing is, it is a plush enema. It is the Reseller mascot. And if you know anything about enemas, they get things moving. So we always say, we hope he gets things moving for you. And it is this time of year, that time of year again, ET in drag time, because these things sell stocking stuffers for us every year. This one is probably our most popular one. They sell for $7.99 plus shipping. Ivan, if you're out there listening, shout out Ivan. We appreciate you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Ivan didn't buy that. Ivan was the source of all those. So we met him 3 years ago at the 127. So I hope to see you again soon. Here is a Blue Ridge Mama sale. She wanted a new coffee maker because the old Keurig just wasn't doing the trick. It just wasn't making enough coffee. She kept cleaning it out and doing whatever. She's like, forget it. And so she decided to sell that from the Keurig that we had. And it sold for $24.95. I bet you the coffee maker, it looks fancy up there, that she bought was far more than that, but I'm happy she sold it. All right, y'all, I got to ship all this, and Turner has some Commonwealth comedy, but we're going to go play a little bit of doll out there. We're going to do a little BP. One whole bucket or one bucket? Because look at all this I got to ship. I'll do 2 buckets if you help me ship it. I'll do 1 bucket if I ship it by myself. I can't just do 1 bucket. 1 bucket. Sure. Good luck at your tournament, by the way. First fall tournament of the year. What's your joke? What's your Commonwealth comedy?
Does it take longer to run from first to second base or from second to third base?
Does it take longer to run from first to second or from second to third? I don't know. Which one?
It takes longer from second to third base because there's a shortstop in the middle.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye.
All right, Reagan's about ready to go to practice, so we do it out here today. What do you got?
Catherine got a CWP IKEA bag and a black light.
All right. Thank y'all very, very much.
Bye. And don't forget to get your stickers at CommonwealthPicker.com.
You scratching? I gotta go throw a bucket of balls to Turner, then I gotta go ship all this stuff, but I got 2 favors to ask really quick. Here's the first one. Go check out the Flippin' Fantastic podcast. They have 196 subscribers. I knew we can at least get them over 200. They are the all-female reselling podcast with Mo and Amy. So go do that for me. And don't forget, Q4 is coming up, and there is always the American Bubble Boy link down below, as well as the My Go-To tape, which if you use code Commonwealth for the tape, you get 5% off. Shout out to Joel over there. We appreciate you. Hopefully everything is going well for y'all. hopefully sales are starting to ramp up as we exit the summer and get closer to Q4. So thank y'all for joining us, and I can't wait to see you next time.
Does it take longer to run from first to second? I do need practice.
What's your joke?
Sorry.